Welcome back to The Explainer. So, today we're diving into something called the dead internet theory. It's a fascinating and honestly kinda unsettling digital ghost story. Think about it. Every single day we log on, we scroll, we laugh at memes, we get into debates in the comments. The internet as we know it feels vibrant, right? It feels bustling and undeniably human. But beneath the surface of this completely familiar digital landscape, a really haunting hypothesis has started to emerge, and it threatens to literally change how we view the entire web.
Let me ask you something directly. Are you absolutely sure you're interacting with humans right now? I mean, really think about it for a second. When you were scrolling this morning, when you liked a post or read that hilarious viral reply, are you actually sure? It's a jarring thought, isn't it? We totally take for granted that there's a beating heart behind every single avatar. But what if there isn't? What if this bustling digital city we spend half our lives in is actually a ghost town?
Okay, let's dive into this. The dead internet theory posits exactly that. It's this haunting hypothesis that genuine human interaction online hasn't just diminished, but has been systematically displaced by bots and incredibly sophisticated artificial intelligence. I mean, imagine our vibrant web suddenly transforming into a synthetic, hollow digital ocean where the waves of content crashing over us every single day are generated entirely by code, not by actual people.
And according to the theory, there's a very specific window where this massive shift supposedly took place. Prior to 2016, the theory suggests the web was exactly what it appeared to be, genuinely human, organic, and bustling. But then, we hit 2016 and 2017. This is the pivotal window where the internet supposedly died. A systematic displacement began, leading us into our present era, a landscape that the theory suggests is now entirely synthetic and AI-dominated. Now, to truly understand this theory, we really have to look at its two distinct faces. We're going to start with what we'll call the weak reality, which focuses on algorithmic pollution. This is something we can all probably relate to. The everyday experience of SEO pollution and endless marketing bots completely drowning out the human voice.
And this brilliantly illustrates a web that is curated for us, not by us. Seriously, think about your own everyday experience online. Corporate algorithms are explicitly designed to prioritize engagement over genuine human connection. They just feed us whatever is going to keep us clicking and scrolling, not necessarily what's real or authentic.
Let's unpack the reality of this weak version, because it's something we literally deal with every single day. It outlines an ecosystem that's heavily influenced by algorithms, where corporate curation prioritizes our constant engagement above all else. And because the web is so deeply polluted by SEO-driven content and those relentless marketing bots, finding an actual, organic human voice, well, it's become incredibly difficult. We're living in a space that is highly curated, managed, and optimized, rather than naturally social. But the dead internet theory absolutely doesn't stop at SEO. No. It escalates into something far more extreme, the strong conspiracy, a deliberate collapse.
When we put the two side by side, the contrast is pretty stark. On one side, you have the weak reality, which points to organic, albeit super frustrating pollution by SEO and engagement algorithms. But on the other side, the strong conspiracy claims that the internet's current state is the result of a deliberate, coordinated collapse of human presence. Proponents of this strong view argue that this isn't just an accident of technology, but an intentional orchestration by governments and powerful corporations.
In this strong version, the language gets incredibly evocative. It suggests that the majority of the population is unknowingly interacting with machine learning ghosts. It paints a deeply eerie picture of a digital world that has actually been dead for years. A world where your friends, your debaters, and even your favorite influencers might just be sophisticated algorithms masquerading as human life. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how incredibly specific these strong claims get. It claims that authentic user participation was deliberately replaced. Why? Well, according to proponents, AI-generated content is being used as a literal tool for control. The ultimate goal, they argue, is to keep users constantly engaged, perpetually distracted, and therefore to make the broader population easily influenced by these invisible overseers. But whether you look at the grounded reality of the weak version or the much more extreme claims of the strong version, we have to pause and ask ourselves something. Why is this idea catching on? Why does this theory resonate with so many people right now? This brings us to a crucial psychological reveal, because ultimately, this theory says far more about us than it actually does about the technology itself. I want you to think about this the next time you log on. When you encounter a particularly toxic, repetitive argument on social media, are you actually debating a human, or are you simply reacting to a line of code that was specifically designed to trigger a negative emotional response from you? It is so incredibly easy to see how this constant, repetitive toxicity fuels our collective anxiety and our growing suspicion of the digital world. So the crucial point is that this theory functions as an emotional defense mechanism. It perfectly reflects our growing anxiety about the digital age and our visceral reactions to the rapid and sometimes totally overwhelming rise of AI. Think about it. Despite being more connected than ever before in human history, we're feeling an increasing sense of isolation. Believing that the internet is dead provides a shield. It's a way to defend ourselves emotionally against the often painful and alienating realities of modern online discourse. As with a lot of belief systems like this, conspiracy theories tend to flourish by identifying a secret enemy. And here, that enemy takes the form of invisible AI overseers. By framing our entire digital experience as a dead construct, it actually allows individuals to detach. I mean, if the person yelling at you online is just a bot, it hurts a little less, right? It's a coping strategy for a world that feels increasingly out of our control.
Ultimately, the dead internet theory forces us to confront our blurring digital reality. In the end, it's way less about the literal technical facts of whether every single post is a bot and much, much more about what this underlying fear tells us regarding our collective digital psychology.
Let's move to and see how this builds when we weigh it all out. Contrasting the technical reality against the profound cultural impact, we really start to see the true story here. Regardless of the exact percentage of bots versus humans online, the undeniable truth is that automation is fundamentally altering our shared digital life. It is totally changing how we interact, how we trust each other, and how we view our collective psychology.
So, whether the internet is truly dead, or it's simply evolving beyond our recognition, we are left with a pretty stark reminder. As the lines between human and machine blur at a rate we have literally never seen before, we have to ask ourselves just how fragile has our perception of truth and genuine connection really become. I'll leave you to think about that the next time you go to leave a comment. Thanks for exploring this explainer with me today.